So Election Day is right around the corner, Tuesday, and you know what that means. Everyone is watching the polls, everyone's talking predictions, and our listeners are sending us mountains of research, especially about one stock in particular.
DJT.
Yeah, exactly, Trump Media and Technology Group. And you want to know, could this stock, could its performance actually give us a clue about who's going to win?
It's a fascinating question. I mean, we've seen in the past that the market, it often reacts to political events.
Right, like sort of selective gut feeling, but played out on Wall Street.
Exactly. And so are we seeing the same thing now with DJT? Can we look at this stock and get a sense of the political winds?
All right, so let's dive in. DJT, Trump Media and Technology Group. What's the stock doing right now?
Well, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, to say the least.
I bet. Volatile, right. Just like, well, everything else about this election.
Pretty much. Earlier this week it surged, but now it's settled back down to about $36 a share.
$36. Okay, so what are the analysts saying? Can we read anything into that number?
Well, this is where things get interesting. Some analysts believe that if Trump gains momentum in these final days, like really picks up steam, we could see DJT shares jump significantly.
Significantly. How much are we talking?
Some are predicting a jump to $60 a share.
Wow, that's more than a 50% increase. But why? What's driving that kind of speculation?
I think it boils down to investor enthusiasm.
But are they enthusiastic about Trump himself, or is there something else going on?
It's a bit of both, honestly. Some investors, they see a Trump win as potentially beneficial for Trump Media and Technology Group specifically.
Oh, so it's not just about who they like as a candidate, it's about what that candidate might mean for this particular company.
Exactly. They're looking at potential policy changes, maybe deregulation, maybe even a perception that a Trump administration would be, shall we say, friendly towards this company, which could give them a competitive edge.
So those investors, they see a potential Trump win as translating into dollar signs for DJT.
Essentially, yes. And that kind of optimism, it can really drive up a stock price.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about the other side of the coin? What if things start looking less favorable for Trump? What happens to DJT then?
Then we could see the opposite effect. If the polls show Trump falling behind, investors might get nervous.
Nervous that their investment might not pay off.
Right. They might start to worry that a different administration wouldn't be as beneficial to the company, and that could lead to a sell-off, a drop in the stock price.
So basically, DJT is becoming a kind of real-time barometer of how the market feels about Trump's chances.
In a way, yes. It's fascinating to watch how the stock market reacts to these political shifts, almost like a giant collective mood ring.
Right. But I got to ask, we're looking at this one stock, but what about the bigger picture? What about the other factors at play, the things that traditionally influence elections, like policies, the overall mood of the public, and of course the polls?
You're absolutely right. Those factors, they're all crucial. Market trends, they're just one piece of the puzzle.
And speaking of polls, it seems like they're painting a slightly different picture right now, While DJT has seen some positive movement, the polls seem to be telling a different story. How do we reconcile these seemingly contradictory indicators?
That is the question, isn't it? It really highlights the complexity of predicting elections.
So for our listeners who are glued to their screens watching all of this unfold, what's the takeaway? Can they really look at DJT stock and get a sense of who might win on Tuesday?
I'd say it's more about understanding that the market is reacting to the political landscape, sometimes in very interesting ways. DJT stock gives us a unique window into how investors are weighing the potential impact of the election on this particular company.
So not a crystal ball, but a fascinating piece of the puzzle.
Precisely. But at the end of the day, the most powerful indicator will be the votes cast on Tuesday.
Absolutely. No matter what the market, the polls, or anything else suggests, the real decision, it lies with the voters.
Couldn't agree more.
So to our listener and everyone else out there, make your voice heard on Tuesday. Go vote.
Yes, go vote.
This has been The Deep Dive. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.
And see ya.